Ooh. Hey, everybody. All three of you that are already here. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. Hang with me for a second. I'm gonna mess with something on the old computer here for myself. And you can let me know what the video and sound quality is like. So let me pull up some stuff, and we're gonna get busy in a minute. We're gonna drink a little bit of alcohol and do some other things. We're gonna play some. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna maybe look at some pickups and stuff like that. Anil Rivera, hello, buddy. Good to see you. Mage Maroon, things look good. Okay, cool. Hello, Juan. Hello, everybody. What are we drinking tonight? We are drinking Asahi Super Dry. This is probably my favorite beer. It's definitely my most consumed beer. So I drink quite a bit of that, actually, maybe a little too much. Guten Tag. Guten Tag to you. Open for you. 8:19 where you are in New York. It is 9:19 p.m. here in Tokyo. I actually got off of work a couple hours ago, and I'm just sitting at home. Thought I could go live for a little while, just sort of hang out. So let's see all who's here. Dax Hex, Juan Obius, GFAM Scorpion, Rivera, Anil Rivera, Mega Maroon, Jason Esco, Joey Jarvis, Sarcastic, Justin Brown, everybody. Jimmy Hoppa is here too. All right. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Good to see everybody. I can see my video quality is in and out, but I don't know. We'll work with that. We'll work with what we got. But yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is something I'll probably make like a regular thing for a little while. I was gonna do this. I was just gonna live stream from maybe like a bar or something. I was actually thinking about doing this last night. Just do a little talk stream from a bar for about an hour. But the weather was really, really bad yesterday. So I just did not feel the least bit like doing that. So yeah, so I didn't go to the bar. I sort of hung out at home. But tonight, got off of work, and I figured, it'd be nice sit at home and do this for the first one. I want to do, regular stuff like this. Maybe go and sit in a bar or something like that, stream from there, and just have a chat with everybody. And so that's something for the future. But for today, we're at home. I have some music playing off to the side. I don't know if that's even picking up, but anyway, yeah, I got a Asahi Super Dry. I actually have a few of these, so we're gonna enjoy some of that. There we go. Jay Walker, hello. Cristiano, hello. Gui, scruffy looking RGB, welcome. Buddy of mine, good old scruffy looking RGB. Good guy, good channel as well. Jay Walker, all you good people. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drink beer. We're gonna look at some recent pickups for myself, and also we can do some Q&A stuff. So if you have any like burning questions for me, you can throw those in the live chat. Mega Maroon wants to know if this stuff dehydrates me. Yes, that is the intended purpose of drinking alcohol, is to get all dehydrated, so you feel a little loopy, and then you have some fun with your alcoholic beverage. All right, so we got everybody here. Okay, very good. So anyway, cheers to all of you. All right, that's good after a long day. How hard is it to teach English to Japanese students? It depends on, I guess, when the student comes to you, their level of proficiency in English. But also how, I mean, each person is different. Not everybody learns the same, so you got to sort of get comfortable with each student, learn what works for them, and sort of apply that. So you got to become friendly with your students. You got to understand them as people and understand their aptitudes so you can more effectively teach to them. So how difficult or easy is it to teach? It varies person by person. I teach kids up to adults. Obviously, it's very different for a little kid and an adult to teach them. Anil Rivera, here is funds for a future game for you to get. Mr. Rivera, thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated. I will indeed, since you said so, I will put that $10 towards a video game. And in fact, I'm going to go over a bunch of games here. Actually, only a handful of the games I'm going to show you in a little bit are for me. And the other one, I have a big stack of Dreamcast games here, and they're not for me. They're actually all going out to other people, patrons of mine, who get game boxes periodically, every month, 2 months, 3 months. Thank you, Mr. Rivera. That's very kind and gracious of you. I appreciate that greatly. Anyway, drink for you, Mr. Rivera. Okay. But thanks very much for the question as well. Teaching is something I'm in my second year of teaching, and I'm, getting into it, liking it a lot. Getting kind of attached to some of my students I've had since day one, and you get more invested in how well they're doing and how they're improving. Anyway, let's take a look at some video games, shall we? First up, these first handful of games are going to be games that I picked up for myself. So the first game on Famicom, this is TMNT 2, the Manhattan Project. But this is in North America, TMNT 3, the Manhattan Project. I really like this game. I definitely prefer this over TMNT, the arcade game on the Famicom and NES. I think this is a significantly better game. I think it looks better. I really like the soundtrack. And I think it controls better as well. Like, I like that you have your throw technique, which is really useful against all the different foot soldiers, and you've got your special attacks. And I like that there are like a ton of bosses in this game, lots and lots of boss characters. So that's really cool. Lots of really recognizable characters from the series, like Bebop, Rocksteady, Dirtbag, Ground Chuck, all that stuff. So Manhattan Project, fantastic game. Jamarius Walker, what's going down? What's going down is we're having some beer and looking at some games. What's up, Meister? Konnichiwa. Thank you. Fit to play games. Hello, sir. Good to see you. Thank you for coming out. And okay, payday today, says BDT87. Perhaps I will go to Aki or somewhere before work tomorrow and check some retro games. Well, I would advise you do that. Why wouldn't you? You get paid, go look at some games. Always a good time. All right. Excuse me. Gonna be more belching than usual for a live stream. Okay, and also for the streaming, I don't know what the hell's been going on. I think I need to seriously get my Wi-Fi stuff worked out. I bought like a mobile Wi-Fi thing so I could do better streams, like walking around, and then it was actually worse. It was worse. So somebody gave me some advice on that, why it was actually worse. So I think I really just need to maybe like trade in my phone or do something, get the speed or whatever updated. So that was a pain in the ass. I'm doing this from home, and apparently my Wi-Fi here in the apartment, I shit the bed too, because I'm looking at myself on the playback and it's all pixelated and shitty. But whatever, we work with what we got. Anyway, next up, game I picked up recently. Actually, the only current gen game I picked up recently. Something for the Switch that I've been having a lot of fun with. This is Ys Origin, which is I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a very simple action RPG. And when I say simple, I do mean like really simple. There's not a whole lot of equipment to collect. I mean, you come across items and equipment and stuff, but for the most part, you're going to get equipment and items, and there's going to be upgraded over time, so you don't need to like constantly be like getting and equipping like new stuff, or at least not as far um, as I've gotten into the game. But it is still pretty damn fun. A very simple, straightforward action RPG. Actually, and this was released in 2006, if I'm not mistaken, and it was released on PS4 like maybe a few years ago or something. So this is actually a fairly old game. Just got ported to Switch, and it definitely looks like it. It looks like a PS2 RPG. But I've been enjoying it a lot, and actually got the special edition. And I haven't really gotten into everything yet. Let's see, who do we got here? Jimmy says, I need to get out of that Leo Palace. I do, actually. I'm going to be getting out of here maybe within the next several months. What Jimmy's talking about is I live in an apartment provided by a company called Leo Palace, and I thought it would be nice to, when I moved into the apartment, to have their Wi-Fi service included, because it's included as part of the rent. And so I had no idea what I was getting into. So it's pretty poor Wi-Fi. So if this stream looks like dog shit, that's why. But yeah, Jamie, I'm going to be getting out of here. I don't know, in the next few months or so. I'm going to be moving on up to the east side. Anil Rivera says, I picked up the limited run game collection and played the Asia version of that game, also on the PS4. Okay, well, very cool. Well, what I have here is the special edition box, so we can at least have a look inside at some of the stuff that's included. First, we have, yes indeed, the East Origin, the soundtrack. The original soundtrack, which is excellent because East games, as you may or may not know, pretty much always have really great soundtracks. So that's pretty cool. I got soundtrack in there. I actually should be popping this in and rip this because the music on this game is fantastic. Saw a live stream of Leo Palace, man. Those apartments are small. Yes, my current apartment is fairly small, which again is why I'm looking forward to getting into something a little bigger coming up soon. This is the apartment I moved in when I was still in college, to put things into perspective. And so I'm into my second year of working and teaching now. So I've got some money saved up. I want to move into a nicer, more upscale apartment. What else do we have here? An East Origin special edition art book. So this looks pretty cool. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to appreciate any of this because of how pixelated the video is. But it's pretty nice, as you can see. Pretty damn cool. I do like a good art book with everything. We have some of our various characters in this game. And one thing that's pretty cool about this game is that the characters in it are characters that are like from Ys itself, or for the most part. The characters you're playing are from Ys, and all of your allies, you're from the the floating island of Ys. So this is it's called Origin because it is a prequel to the original Ys games. So you get to sort of see a little more of the backstory of everything that happened before, like, people start to inhabit the land again, and then Adol goes up to Ys. And I think that's it. Is there anything else in here? Let's take a quick look. You see, I thought there might be like a poster or something. But no, I think that's it. So it came with a. Oh, actually, no, there is. Whoop. Poster. Was that a special Japanese edition collection that it came with? Yes. I don't know if this is only for Japan or not. I picked this up. I actually found this in a book off for 4,000 yen, which is just under $40. And yeah, we have a poster here. Ah, snazzy. All right, let's take a look at that. Ooh, there she be. This is pretty sweet. Again, when I move in to the newer, bigger place, I'm gonna have to find a spot for stuff like this, because typically, like, I don't know if I intend to like resell this or anything. So it would be nice to have these on a wall somewhere. Actually, a friend of mine. One of the things that made me really want to move into a new place is a friend of mine. He just moved into a nice big apartment in an upscale area of the city called Ebisu. So I went over there to his apartment to have a look, and it was really cool. And one of the things he started doing is he's not collecting video games as much as he was before. So a lot of his games have been sold off, and he's been focusing on collecting like more like artwork, like posters and things that were, I guess, used as advertisements in like arcades and things like that. So he has all these really cool like big arcade posters like framed and put all over the place, and that was really cool. So I would like to have that. Maybe just have like a room, like maybe have like a 2 or 3 bedroom place where maybe one of the rooms can be used as sort of like a game room, entertainment room, and just have cool stuff like that on the walls. He has lots of really cool Capcom posters because he used to work at Capcom years ago, and so he collects stuff like that. So it was really cool. I was like really impressed like that. I was like, wow, I need to get like this guy. Um, nice pickup. Send you pics of mine on Facebook. Okay, how about it, Anil Rivera? Let me see those pickups are. Good old Ebisu, I'm trying to find somewhere in Toshima. Best of luck with that, sir. Are you looking forward to Zelda's 35th anniversary? I guess so. Not so much the anniversary, just more Zelda games. I really, really enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I'm actually looking. I did not play the first. What was it? Hyrule Warriors. But I'm looking forward to the next one. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Anything that kind of continues the story of Breath of the Wild, I'm looking forward to. And then the next Breath of the Wild game, the sequel, that's going to be awesome. So, yeah, the 35th anniversary. I hadn't even thought about it, honestly, until you just said it. I didn't even realize it was the 35th anniversary of Zelda. That's very cool that, I mean, those games endure for a good reason. They're really great games. They're some of the best games ever made. But yeah, I am excited to play the next couple of Zelda games that are coming out, for sure. Okay, let's see what we got here. What's the biggest arcade amusement park in Japan? I don't know about amusement park. I mean, unless you're maybe talking about like Joy Palace, the Sega place where it's kind of like an indoor amusement park. I guess you could say that that's like an arcade amusement park. Other than that, I don't know of like really many other arcade amusement parks. I know like a lot of arcades. I frequent those quite a lot. Like some of my favorites in Tokyo are like Mikado in Takadano Baba and Taito Hei in Akihabara. Those are like my two favorites. But an amusement park, maybe you're talking about Joy Palace. I'm not 100% sure. Kenny J, 2007. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Kenny is actually a friend of mine, like an actual legit, like personal friend from when, back in the day when I was a teenager. It's good to see you, Kenny. How are you? I hope you're doing okay, buddy. I haven't, geez, I don't think I've seen you in, what is it, over 10 years? Something like that? How long ago was it that I left home? Like 12 years ago? Something to that effect? So it's been a while. But I'm doing good, man. Thank you for stopping by. Hello. Oh, Christopher Stewart is here. Hi, Chris. I hope you're enjoying the games, by the way. Chris is one of the gentlemen receiving games for me at the moment. So I hope he's doing well. That's a thing that's been sort of a real endeavor for me, kind of a pain in the ass. But it's been like great because it gives me a good reason to keep game hunting because I was like slowing down on my collecting. And then I had the idea that I should start maybe sending games out via my Patreon page. And the month I decided to start doing that was the month that Japan Post shut down all, like, I think it was all international mail pretty much for a little while. And then they started to open stuff up, but still wasn't, they still weren't opening up mail to the US. In fact, they're still not doing air mail to the US. So almost the exact, like, day I decided I was going to start mailing out video games as a part of like Patreon rewards, that was the day that Japan Post was like, fuck it, we're not doing any more posts to the US. And so I had to like go to people and be like, hey, kind of screwed, like you're giving me money and I can't really send you anything right now unless you want to send it by surface mail, and then who knows if it's ever going to get there. But like people were like really, really patient with that, and so I really like appreciated that. So instead of sending, when I did eventually get to start sending boxes out to people, instead of having like 4 or 5 games in a box, it was like a dozen games, 15 games, because I had to make up for lost time. But I'm happy to say it's kind of kicking off now. It's actually going pretty smoothly, getting my stuff shipped out, enjoying it, giving me a purpose for game hunting again. So that's excellent. Who do we got in here? Falcom Scott. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Good old Malcolm. It's always good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, if you can even really see the collection with all the pixelation. But thank you very much, Malcolm. Pocket full of games. Another one of the patrons, the patient, the loyal. You guys have the patience of saints. So pocket full of games. Welcome. Actually, I think I just sent your most recent package out, a big one. All of these have been stuffed. This is actually my my file folder that I keep all of my shipping receipts in. So this thing, as you can see, is filling up pretty good. So I keep it in my RIN folder, so I'll never lose track of all my shipping receipts. So this is all the tracking information and everything is all in here. So there's that. Who else we got? Eskimo Joe. Hello, Eskimo Joe. Andy. Hello there. Retro Remy is here. Retro Remy is, I'll say this about you, sir. He is one of my patrons as well. Also, though, when he messaged me initially, he said that I had sort of helped inspire him to want to start making YouTube videos. So whenever you feel like it, whenever you have time or you want to open up another tab, look up Retro Remy. He's posted his first video at this point, but it was quite good. I found it quite interesting. The way he shot it, did the editing, everything like that. I thought it was very cool. So Retro Remy, it's very good to see you here. Okay, let's keep going. Let's open up some more games. First, take a swig off this. Here's to you, all you fine folks in the chat. Okay, good stuff. I think this music is a little too low, though. Let's get this dope music up a little bit. All right. Oh my God. How to Bachelor. Fellow vet here in Florida, big fan. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, How to Bachelor, for the most generous donation. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I am an Air Force veteran, and that was, in fact, how I initially came to Japan in 2010. So if anyone who has, or even if you want to go back and watch some of my like really old videos, like pickups videos and stuff, you'll notice my hair is cut very short, and I'm in that same sort of room with like the white walls and stuff. That was actually my dorm room. On the base. So a little fun fact for you. Thank you very much, though, sir. You are a scholar and a gentleman. Here's to you. I just keep seeing everybody popping up. Eric is here. Payne79. Hello. Tokyo Model Detective. Asahi Dry is for the week. Where's the 9% chews? I do not have a 9% chew right now. It's because I like to drink beer, and also I don't know, when I start getting into the big Chew High Strongs, that's when things get a little nutty and I have a little too much of the old drinky, and I got to go to work tomorrow, sir. Andy, vet 10 years ago, but you look so young. No, sir. That's the beauty of shitty Wi-Fi is the pixelation on my face hides the wrinkles and the double chin. Trust me. I've been out of the military for 5 years now. I finished up my service in 2015, and I am significantly fatter than I used to be, and older. Anyway, so that Josh Brown is here. Hashim Smith, hello, buddy. Good to see you. Okay, Jarmo, is it Seppanen? Cheers, Jim. Greetings from Finland. Okay, so if you're from Finland, is it Jarmo? Okay, I'm not 100% sure. I don't like to screw people's names up, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Jarmo, Seppanen, or Seppanen? Anyway, let's move on. We got some games here. Next up, PS1 game. I actually picked this up in when I did the most recent Sudagai video in Shinjuku. I picked this up there along with TMNT. This is Klonoa. Get that in there with all the glare. Klonoa Beach Ball. This is, I had never heard of this game. I didn't know about it. It turns out it also got a release in like the UK, I think. This is a Klonoa beach volleyball game, which is cool enough. I mean, it's pretty fun. Like, I wasn't expecting like great things from it. It's just a volleyball game, but just the fact that it's a Klonoa beach volleyball game and something I had never heard of before, and it was like, I don't know, 1,200 yen, like less than $12. I figured why not. So it is pretty fun. I have been having fun with this. It's really simple controls. If you've played any beach volleyball game, they all pretty much control the same. So, like, if you like, my all-time favorite volleyball game is Super Spike V-Ball on the NES. That game's great. But also, like, I don't know, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, or I think there was like some Sega volleyball game too. But it plays pretty much just like those. You got buttons to, you serve, and one button pretty much does like the, the serving and returning and spiking, all that stuff. So this game can mostly be played with a single button. You get like power moves and stuff like that. And again, it's Klonoa. I'm a Klonoa fan, and when you find a Klonoa game you never heard of before, it's worth a shot. So yeah, Klonoa Beach Ball, kind of an interesting title. JT, hey Jim, just passing by to say hello. Can't stay, unfortunately. Got to run for work. Have a nice day. Well, JT, you have a nice day, sir. Have yourself the best day at work that you can. And then when you get off work, have a beer like I'm doing. Take care. Godspeed. Who else we got in here? Laura Sykes. Laura, another one of the patrons. Hello, Laura. Good to see you. You like visual novel games, Jim? I don't, actually. I have not played... I mean, I've played a number of visual novel games and just did not enjoy like 90% of them. I think the only ones that I've enjoyed that you could say are like visual novels would be games like maybe like Snatcher. Snatcher is sort of like a visual novel. It's a lot of like text boxes and response to questions. I mean, there's other stuff. There's like little shooting segments and everything. But what I really like about Snatcher is the aesthetic. The problem for me is with visual novels, most of them are horribly boring, in my opinion, mind you. Most visual novels are like dating sims. Some of them are kind of cool, like the aesthetics are cool. Like there are some like sort of like horror detective mystery visual novels, and that's kind of cool. But like when I was trying to collect all the games for the Dreamcast, a lot of the games I was coming across were visual novels and stuff, and most of them were dating sims, and I didn't like any of them. I thought they were all really boring. And I did end up eventually reviewing one of them. Like years ago, I reviewed Comic Party for the Dreamcast. That was the only one I kind of liked, just because it had like mini games where you draw comics and stuff. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of the visual novel genre. Hey, good to see you. Hello, Brian Trusty. Good to see you. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Hey, it's very nice to see you, Brian. Thank you for stopping by. Joseph Martinez, Giovanni, Demo Kirby, all you fine folks. English version of Klonoa has skyrocketed. It's crazy stupid. This makes me miss my country of the Philippines. Every video game is in Japanese. Yeah, actually, there's a video that we've been working on, myself and my buddy Saramaru. We made a part 1 of a Sega Saturn import buying guide, which was like just to get started. And then the next one we have planned is import Sega Saturn games that are cheaper than their English counterparts. So that, games that were released in, the UK or other parts of Europe or in North America, but they're like really expensive there. Holy hell! I have no idea what the hell that was. Okay. Just sort of dropped for a second there. Here I am, back again. I'm not gone. I have no idea what's going on. I'm plagued by technical difficulties. If there's a running theme in my life, it's technical difficulties. Oh, that Leo Palace Wi-Fi. Oof, says Sean Beyer. Sean, you ain't kidding. It likes to stick it in and break it off. Anyway, what the hell was I even saying? Oh yeah, Saturn video, Saramaru. Yeah, Japanese versions of Saturn games that are significantly cheaper than their English counterparts. And when I say cheaper, I do mean a lot cheaper, like hundreds of dollars cheaper. So be looking out for that. Since, yeah, a lot of English versions of some games have gotten really expensive. Stuff like, I was going to say, like Mega Man 8, for example, or maybe even like Street Fighter Alpha 2, Nights into Dreams, stuff like that. It's considerably cheaper to buy Japanese, at least for now. Who knows if that's going to hold up. Andy with the F, yeah, F Leo Palace's Wi-Fi. Anyway, let's get back to some games here. Okay, PS1 game that I picked up. I think one of the last times I was in Akiba, actually. I was there picking up some stuff for some other people, and decided I should at least get a couple of games for myself. I wanted something to come home and play. Because usually, like a return trip, coming back from Akiba, it's nice to have at least 1 or 2 games just for you. So I picked up 2 games that day for myself, and both of them were like pretty expensive, but ones I was pretty excited to play. This one on the PS1 is called X2, and it is published by Capcom, but there's like Team 17 and Ocean. Can companies like co-publish games or something? Because I thought Ocean was a publisher. But published by Capcom, it is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. And I played through it once, and I'll say it reminds me of some, maybe like other side-scrolling shooters I've played before, like maybe stuff like, I feel like maybe like Polestar or something like that. So it's a side-scrolling shooter. It has sort of like quasi-polygonal graphics. Pretty cool looking. Soundtrack is pretty good. Pretty hard though, just because, like, I don't know, I felt like maybe the control was too smooth or something. But I don't know, dying quite a lot. But what is cool though is that as you power up your ship just stays powered up. So it's almost like you're collecting weapons as opposed to like swapping back and forth between, like, you pick up a laser gun, then you lose your lasers or something like that. Like, you keep your missiles, keep all these other things. So as you're picking up more power-ups, you're just making your weapons stronger. You're not necessarily replacing them with other weapons. So I thought that was pretty cool. So as you play through one stage to the next, they get much more difficult, but your ship is also remaining more powerful, and you don't lose your power-ups when you die or have to continue. So that was pretty cool. Was this worth whatever I paid for it? I forget how much I paid for it. It was pretty expensive though. Probably not, just because there are like better shooters, like just on the PS1. Like, I'd rather play like G Darius or Gradius Gaiden, and neither of them is as expensive as this one. But it's still pretty cool anyway. X2, I had fun playing through it. I'm definitely gonna play through it again, at least, I don't know, a handful of times. Just because my first playthrough, I was getting my ass handed to me in a high hat. So I would like to have like a better go of it at this game. But X2, published by Capcom, still pretty cool. Let's have a look at the chat as I belch into my hands. Let's see. Sarcastic, 23 minutes behind, but watching at 2K speed. We got Kevin Kastner. My post-COVID goal is to visit Japan. I'm a huge fan of Japanese pro wrestling and would love to shop for games and memorabilia / collectibles. Well, Kevin, I hope you get to do that. I know it sucks. I was anticipating on seeing a lot of friends of mine this year who were all planning visits to Japan, at various times throughout the year. All of that got canceled, and then a lot of other people who had travel plans, it was going to be their first time visiting Japan, lifelong dream, etc., etc., and now it's not going to happen. and they have my deepest sympathies because I know what it's like to, want to do something really bad. You're like right there, you're gonna do it, and then it's gone. Rug right out from under you. So you have my condolences. Hope things clear up and you get your chance to come out and pay us a visit. Ask if your friend Dennis, I think that's his name, is still in or around Sendai. Yeah, Jimmy, Dennis. My good buddy Dennis, some of you may know from some of the videos I've done. He works with me sometimes on videos. Yeah, Dennis lives in Sendai, right up near Jimmy Hoppa. So you guys should probably like hang out, make out, touch dicks, whatever you guys do. I'm sure that'll be a good time for you. I gotta hit the gym so I can dominate you next time we play wrestle. Yeah, there's nothing playful about how we wrestle. Or how you wrestle. I was saying stop. You just, you act like you didn't hear me. All right. Let's see. Brad Komjinik is your Patreon link in your other videos in the description. Yeah. In other videos of mine, if you look in the description, you can see all my social media stuff. And that includes Patreon, but also if you just want to, on Instagram, I post pictures on Instagram fairly regularly. Facebook page, everything I publish on YouTube ends up on Facebook. And sometimes I like to share other people's content on Facebook as well. So if you want to go there and see some of my stuff, if you missed it, or some of the stuff from other people's channels that I share, go check that out. And also on Twitter. Mostly Twitter I use as like a self-promotion thing, so most of what you're going to see is just links to my videos and stuff. But I do occasionally post like pictures or a little blurb about my day or something, because that's what people do. You're supposed to do with Twitter, right? Is just like post little tidbits about your day. Most people use it to like argue and bitch at other people. But like my idea for what to use Twitter for is just like, I don't know, talk about random stuff. And if somebody wants to chat with you, they do, or they hit you back. But mostly I just use it to like share video links. So if that's something you want to look at, you can look at it. But yes, the Patreon link is also in there. So thank you for asking. Jarmo, same case, everything ready, flights, hotel. Last spring, but no. Yeah. Such is life sometimes. C'est la vie, as they say. But this one's for you, buddy. Sorry. One for me, one for my homies. Okay. This game, and this is the last game I picked up for myself recently. This was one I've been wanting for a long time, and just for whatever reason did not pick it up until just now. And the thing is, like, it was never like the most expensive game. It's just that anytime it came up and I had the opportunity to buy it, there was something else I wanted just a little bit more. That was not the case this time, though. So let me read the full title before I show it. It is Yu Yu Hakusho Makyo to Itsusen. Makyo to Itsusen. So this is the Yu Yu Hakusho game for the Sega Mega Drive that was developed by Treasure, which is pretty cool because I like Treasure. Excuse me. That's the thing about drinking with Jim. You're gonna get a live stream filled with belches like you've never seen before. Fan of Treasure games. Played a lot of their games. Stuff like Gunstar Heroes, obviously awesome. Bangayo is great. Other stuff like that. So knew for a long time that they had a Yu Yu Hakusho game that they had developed, which is really cool because Yu Yu Hakusho is probably my favorite anime series ever. It's debatable whether or not it's just my favorite anime in general, because I do like a lot of OVAs. But this is probably my favorite series of all time. I really like this. I like that it focuses on this central cast of characters. I don't like other shows that get too bogged down with like superfluous characters. I like to have like a small central cast of characters that you can develop over a long period of time, so you can add more to their personality, give them these little story arcs, and they develop and grow. I like that. So I've always liked this show for having these 4 central characters that you can follow them through the entirety of the show. And as more characters are introduced, they come and go and stuff like that, but you never really break away from these 4 characters. It's really all about them. So anyway, that's why it's like one of my favorite anime. Plus, it's just like it's cool in general. I like the premise. The villains are really great villains and everything. So I've been a huge fan of Yu Yu Hakusho for a long time, and finally picked up the Treasure game on the Mega Drive, and it's pretty damn cool. You can fight in multiple planes, sort of like a Fatal Fury type thing, where you can jump into the background, fight there, foreground, launch attacks and stuff like that. And yeah, aside from that, just a solid, fun fighting game. It's what you would expect from Treasure. They took something that is a fairly simple premise, like they usually do, like shoot 'em ups and other types of games like that, and they added sort of like a different gameplay mechanic to change things up a bit, make it stand out from the crowd, if you will. So yeah, the Yu Yu Hakusho by Treasure on the Mega Drive, great game. Happy to have it. Karkamo Gaming is here. OMG, drinking with a sexy man. Yeah, you know, Karkmo, you and my old lady are the only ones who get to call me that. Karkamo Gaming, good friend of mine here on YouTube. Again, another person I would say definitely like open another tab if you can, and search Karkamo Gaming and go watch his content because it is excellent. He is my muscle-bound, demonic clown brother from another mother, fire spitter. And Karkamo, dude, I've messaged you I don't know how many times. I have games for you. I've had games for you. They've literally been sitting there for like 2 years. There's still a stack of games sitting right over there in my closet for you. Every time I ask you for the address to send them to, because I know you use a proxy, you know I never get it. So you gotta hook me up, bro. Anyway, Mortiz is that Merlot? Thank you, bud. Appreciate you. Love you too, Big K, the K Man. Go watch some of his matches too. Watch him roll around in glass and breathe fire on people. Love you, buddy. All right, that's all the stuff I picked up for myself. Here we have that out of the way. We can just burn through this big stack of Dreamcast games. Yeah, I picked all these up because I get a lot of requests for Dreamcast games. And so on one of my last game hunting trips, I just grabbed a whole bunch all at once. So I'm going to be actually sending these out to people, but I figured we could take a look at them before they go out. Just in case anybody wanted to know what kind of stuff I'm putting in there. Falcom Scott, almost up to 24K subs here, Jim. Hope you get there. Hey, I hope I do too. Unless I die before then, it seems pretty likely that I'll get 24K. But thank you very much. Hey, a stream at a sociable time. Yeah, how about that? I have to stream at night, and the rest of you will get to see the stream at a time that isn't too ridiculous for you. Because if I stream during the day, it's going to be kind of restrictive. You're going to have to be up real late to watch that. But now you can wake up in the morning and watch Jim drink beer and talk about video games. Randrick, hey Jim, are you playing your games on a CRT TV? What's your setup? No, I have like a flat panel TV, and I have an upscaler. Actually, let me look at what the company name is. I always forget. Razfox. I have a Razfox AV to HDMI sort of like upscaler thing that I can use to go directly into the TV, but usually it's plugged into. I have an Aver Media capture device that it's usually running through. So usually everything is running through the Aver Media device, so that whenever I want to, I can just hit the record button and start recording gameplay from my Switch or from whatever I have going through the upscaler. And it's not a great upscaler, mind you, but it's better than just using nothing at all. But that's usually what I use. I used an HDMI converter to put all my games into my flat screen. Karkamo wants to know when I'm opening an OnlyFans. I think if I put on another 50 pounds or so, I think I'll start up the OnlyFans. Because I think as just plain old like vanilla Jim, I'm not going to attract a whole lot of attention. But if I get, a nice substantial big fat dude, a big bear, I know there's like a big bear community out there. So maybe I can bring some of the money in that way. So Karkamo, yeah, I got to get a little heavy. Christopher Stewart says, later Jim, headed to work. All right, Christopher, Take care. I appreciate you, buddy. I hope you have a nice enough day at work, as nice as you can have at work. Stay safe. Take care. And thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Okay. Dreamcast games. Whole lot of them. Retro Remy, I see that. Did you say Dreamcast? All caps? Yes, I did. So let's take a look at some of these games I picked up for the Dreamcast recently. And like I said, this stuff is all going to be going out to patrons. Because they can request games for the consoles of their choice. And two of the more common consoles I get requests for are Sega Saturn, which is the most common, and the Dreamcast, which is right up there with like Famicom and stuff. People request Dreamcast. So I picked up a nice big stack of Dreamcast games. First up by Psikyo, published by Capcom. We have Gun Spike. Great game, great shooting game by Psikyo, featuring lots of Capcom characters blowing stuff away. You got Cammy and Nash and Mega Man and all that good stuff. So Gunspike, somebody's going to be having fun with that. Karkamo with the $5 donation, because as we all know, Karkamo is rolling in dough. He's the richest man in Panama. Karkamo Gaming, thank you very much. Thank you, Big K Man. I appreciate it very much. And like I said, I got your games over there, a bunch of boxed Famicom games all ready to go. So, yeah, hit me up with that proxy address of yours so I can get these shipped out, and I will do. But thank you very much, Karkamo. I appreciate the $5. This buzz for you. And I'm almost empty. Anyway, Gunspike. Yeah, Gunspike, great game. This is one I have in my collection. I love it. Super fun, simple shooting game. Fantastic. Holy God. From Ryoma 0045. Hey, Jim. Hope you're having a good evening. Glad to catch you live. Have a beer on me. That's £5. That's the paper money. That's the real stuff. The British pound. Thank you, Ryoma 0045. For anyone that doesn't know, again, I keep saying this, just have, like, if you're on a computer, have another tab open, because I'll probably recommend channels all throughout. Ryoma 0045, he's already completed a guest review for my channel that is sort of like in the queue, so it's going to be coming up fairly soon, probably in November. But he made a very good guest review for my channel for Choo Choo Rockets, which you're going to see probably next month. So it was really well done. He actually reviews video games on his channel. I've watched quite a lot of them, and they're pretty damn good. So when you have the time, go and check out Ryoma 0045 and his series Victory Pose Gaming. It's very good. Thank you very much, though, Ryoma, for the £5. I am definitely going to put that towards more alcohol, because that's where a lot of my money is to, is alcoholic beverages. Beer, video games, that constitutes like the bulk of my spending. So thank you very much, sir. Okay, next up, another Dreamcast game. Another just like ridiculously fun game. Again, one I have in the collection, and somebody is going to be having a lot of fun with this. This is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 X for matching service. So this is the Dreamcast port of Puzzle Fighter, and it's a matching service game. So at the time, it was online compatible. You could play matches of Puzzle Fighter with other people around the world. Not so much anymore, but this is still a really cool version of this game, because it actually features 3 different versions of Puzzle Fighter. I think there's like, it's almost like the isms in the Street Fighter Alpha games, how there's like X, Y, and Z. There's like 3 different, one plays like more like columns, the other one is more like Tetris Attack, and the other one is like classic Puzzle Fighter. So this is just an excellent update to the original Saturn version. It's really, really good. Fantastic game. I love it. What do we got? Skull Spades Recordings. Hey, Jim. I've had a bit of a Mega Drive original games collecting frenzy these past months, and all of a sudden it kind of disappeared. Do you experience this kind of ups and downs collecting-wise? I do. Just because there's only so much time in the day, so much time you can spend with your games. So I went through a thing where I want every Japanese Dreamcast game, and then came to the realization that I had a whole bunch of Dreamcast games that I didn't play. Like, for every good Dreamcast game I had, there were like dating sims and stuff. So I was like, what the hell am I doing? So I got rid of all that. PC Engine was going nuts on PC Engine collecting. I mean, as you can see, I got a lot of PC Engine games. Just wanted to get as many PC Engine games as possible. Realized, again, I was picking up a bunch that I just like. What am I doing? You know, I'm not gonna do anything with it. So, as it is, I'm probably gonna get rid of quite a few of these PC Engine games because there are a lot of really great shooters for it, and platformers, and action titles and stuff like that. But also, there's like a whole bunch that like aren't really very good, and I have a bunch of them, and I don't ever play them, and I probably never will. They just sort of sit on a shelf. So a bunch of those are probably going to be gotten rid of. I'm actually going to probably be paring down my collection quite a lot to just sort of the games like I really, really like. So focusing on like top quality shooters and fighting games and beat 'em ups, and everything else can go. So this collection behind me is probably going to get a lot smaller as time goes by. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Can actually play that online on Fightcade, I think. Okay, that's pretty cool. I would really actually Fightcade is pretty awesome because I was watching some online matches for like Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff, and that's like fascinating to watch because those dudes play that game like better than I could ever dream of playing it. Karkamo Gaming, again, before becoming my best sexy blondie friend, he was one of my you can't okay. You're gonna make me blush here, dude. He was one of my inspirations for starting my YouTube channel. I was subbed for years and never thought we were gonna be lovers, I mean friends. Well, there's always time, Karkamo. There's still time. But thank you very much. Yeah, again, Karkamo Gaming, one of my best friends here on YouTube. Love the guy. Go and check him out. Check his channel anytime you have to if you want to see some of the best shot, best edited videos on YouTube. I mean, only he would go to the top of a mountain to unbox a video game. It's, you know, and he does it better than anybody. Karkamo, love you, dude. Holy shizer. Nintendo Heaven. 9.99 pounds. This is, you guys, you're killing me, dude. Hey, Jim. Thanks for a great channel. Always love your videos. And so can't wait to be back in Japan soon. Well, I'll tell you what, that's 10 pounds. Next time you are in Japan, just drop me a line and I will pay you back in beers. Because there are probably a number of people in the chat right now that have been out drinking with me. If Randrick is still here, Randrick has had some beers with me. Probably a handful of other people. So yeah, Nintendo Heaven. When you do finally get back to Japan, you know, I'm a sociable guy. Just drop me a line. But thank you for the 10 pounds. That's insanely generous. Thank you very much, sir. This is for you. Good man. Good man. Okay. Next up. All of this whole stack is just classic after classic. We had Puzzle Fighter. Next up, Vampire Chronicle for matching service. This game is awesome. Why is this game so awesome? Well, it's essentially Darkstalkers 3, aka Vampire Savior, in terms of graphics, sound, the character roster, all that. But you have the option in this game, when you choose your characters, when you start up arcade versus what have you, you can choose between different gameplay styles from the original Vampire the Night Warriors and Vampire Hunter and Darkstalkers 3. So you can choose from all the different gameplay styles to change your character's attacks and special attacks, to change the super attack combos and how the super combo meter works, everything like that. So this is actually my favorite Darkstalkers game because it would normally be Vampire Savior. Love that game. Darkstalkers 3 is fantastic. This is just like an upgraded version of Darkstalkers 3 with like more gameplay options. So it's great. It's as good as it gets. I know Rivera is planning to be there in 2020, 2022. with Tkyo Sam to have some beers. Love to see you there as well. Yeah, absolutely. Sam is one of my best friends here in Tokyo, as a matter of fact. We were just hanging out Sunday. Sam and I were hanging out in Akiba on Sunday, and we went to Tokyo Video Gamers, which is awesome. It is a bar that recently opened up in Akihabara. It is, I believe, the only licensed video game bar in Tokyo. So they have licenses from like SNK and I think Data East and some others. So they can have the arcade cabinets in there. They have some MVS cabinets in there and other various things. So you can go in there and drink some beer and play some King of Fighters, play some Puyo Puyo or whatever else they got loaded up. So it's fantastic. It's like my new favorite bar. It's like my favorite place in the world. You drink beer, you take your beer and your coaster over to your arcade machine, and you just sit there, drink your beer, play your games, have a good time. And I will say, I ate their tomato cheese cream spaghetti, and it was good. So they make a decent plate of spaghetti, and they'll load you up with as much beer as you want, and all of the arcade machines are set to free play. So it's I don't really know what else to say. Like it's my happy place. So Tokyo Video Gamers. Yeah, I was there with Sam on Sunday, having a good time. So you, sir, Mr. Rivera, when you're out here in Tokyo, maybe you, me, and Sam will head down to Tokyo Video Gamers. We'll have some beers, and we'll play some video games. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Blazing Chrome. Yeah, Blazing Chrome is one I want to play, and Xeno Crisis. I really want to get a copy of Xeno Crisis. I haven't come across one yet, though. I really want it for the Mega Drive, though. I know it's on the Dreamcast. I know it's on the Switch and what have you. I want the Mega Drive version. Anyway, back to these Dreamcast pickups. For a shooter fan, this is gonna be great. Someone's really gonna have a lot of fun with this. Mars Matrix. Mars Matrix on the Sega Dreamcast. Fantastic top-down shooter. Very difficult, but exceedingly fun. One of the things I like about this game is that it really forces you to play if you want to ease things up. It starts out really challenging, and as you're playing the game, you collect money. And so let's say you get to the first few stages or whatever, you've collected enough money, you could use that money to go into like an options menu, and you could unlock easier difficulty settings, or you could unlock more continues. So the money you earn playing the game, you can go and spin to unlock like options that actually make the game a little easier for you. So it's a lot of fun. Graphics, sound. It can be really, really challenging, like a brutally difficult game. It really, stresses in this game like aggressive gameplay. You really want to be like up in your enemies' faces. You want to blow everything away as quickly as possible, so you can get as much money from them as possible. So that just to like get a high score or whatever, get them off the screen as quick as you can. But also because you're gonna need that money if you want to like buy more continues and things like that. So Mars Matrix, amazing game, beautiful, wonderful. Someone's gonna have a lot of fun with this. Excuse me, gotta wet the whistle. Retro Remy, you drop in some good amount of money on the DC titles this round. Great pickups for the Patreon. That's right, Retro Remy. But anyone that goes to my Patreon, I don't hide how much money it makes. It makes a good bit of money, and but like really the bulk of that money goes back to the patrons. So whatever that amount is, it's like $3,800 right now. Take that amount, take like 3/4 of it, throw it out the window, because that's what I'm spending on picking up the games and paying the postage as well. So yeah, it says a certain amount, and I do get that amount, but then like most of that goes right back into picking up the games, paying the postage. Especially if you go to my Instagram, my Twitter, I regularly share photos of what I keep in my apartment. I call the big box O games. It's this big long cardboard box that I'm constantly filling up with games, and then emptying it, and then filling it back up. So yeah, takes a little bit of money to do that. Yeah, Mars Matrix, amazing game. Do Japanese gamers collect US games? Is there a Japanese version of a Weibo or Weibo? There are some Japanese gamers that collect US games. and they will know the region differences between titles. Like they'll know that Akumajo Dracula is Castlevania, or that Ryoko no Ken is Art of Fighting, stuff like that. That you can find like import like NES games and stuff in some stores here. Um, as far as if there's a Japanese version of Weeaboo, I mean, there kind of is, just because there are Japanese people that are kind of obsessed with certain aspects of like Americana, American culture, American music. I mean, there are people, I've met people here that are obsessed with like bluegrass music, for example. They are diehards about bluegrass and what is like real bluegrass and all that kind of stuff. So in that way, they're like a weeboo for American culture in a sense, but it's sort of like that little like slice of it, because I don't think there's like one singular American culture, but there's like a broader. And there's like lots of little subcultures that get their followings, and even there's like it's not American culture, but there's like I watched like sort of a thing. It was like cholo culture in Japan and B style and stuff like that. So that certainly exists. We got £5 from Chapaman. Thanks for the great work, Jim. You're welcome, sir. You have a box on the way as we speak. So enjoy the games, buddy. And there's plenty more where that came from. And Randrick, my good buddy Eric is one of those people who has sat down in a bar and had some beers with me and had a chat. Randrick, great guy. 14 Canadian. Thanks, man, for the years of entertainment on YouTube and the hospitality you showed me in Japan. That izakaya was awesome last year. Cheers to you, Jim. Well, Eric, thank you for being a viewer and for when you came to Japan. You were here in Tokyo. You could have done anything you wanted with that time, and you invited me out for a drink. So I appreciate that very much, and thank you very much for the $14 Canadian. Cheers, sir. And the tunes are gone. Guy can't drink without his tunes. Tonight I am rocking the Harbor Lounge song from the Shenmue soundtrack. There we go. Guy can't properly drink without his tunes. What can you do? Reverse Lee. Hey Jim, do you also do Japanese snack boxes? I do. I actually have. There's someone in there. One of my U.S. patrons. He's been signed up for those. I owe him like a huge box. Because the snack boxes were like $30. But I gotta, because I can't really do that anymore, because the shipping to the U.S. at a minimum is like $30. So like if you signed up for that, you'd have to be waiting a couple of months anyway just to get the box. I actually owe him like months worth of snacks, just because there was a period of several months where I couldn't ship anything, period. And then I was like, games. So I actually only have like one person signed up for snacks. Everybody else migrated over to games. But yeah, reversely, there is a snack box, but it's like a $30 tier, which prior to the mail shutdown, that was enough to pay for, putting some snacks in a box and shipping it off. Shipping was like $10 or something. So I would end up making like $10. I could throw in like $10 worth of snacks, then pay the shipping, and then have $10 left over for myself or something. Now though, forget that. Shipping is like $25-$30 at a minimum. So I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with that. But yeah, I have shipped out lots of snacks and manga and other stuff in the past. But it was the games that really hooked people in, and it kind of became overwhelming for a while. Like, I expected a few people to take advantage of it. Now there's like 30-something people signed up for it. So kind of like, holy shit, I really got to, work to get this done. Nerdy Hood Reviews. Thank you very much, sir. Yo, Jim, been watching you for years. Thanks for the content. Can't remember the first video I saw from you, but I remember seeing your vids before you left Texas, and your story of your first time in Japan when you was in the Navy. Close, sir. I was in the Air Force. I was a proud Air Force medic. for 7 years, but I do have a lot of Navy veteran friends right here in Japan. They were all in Yokosuka, which you'll remember from Shenmue. So I am the person that knows where all the sailors are. And I was over in Yokota. So I was over on the west side of Tokyo, Yokosuka, more sort of like to the southeast. But yeah, if you were watching when I was in Texas, then you've been around for a while. You've been around for over 5 years. So I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that greatly. Texas, those was some dark days indeed, because I was in Del Rio, Texas, which, if anyone's from Del Rio or from that area, don't want to insult anybody. I was bored out of my fucking mind. I was bored. I missed Tokyo. I missed my girlfriend at the time. We're not together anymore, but at the time I really missed my girlfriend. And I was bored, and so I was just like, all I would really do with my time is get off work, go home, drink a 6-pack, and make YouTube videos. And for a while there, I was also, if anyone remembers, a podcast called the Hate Bit Podcast. I was on that show a lot, even though I protested. I was invited to be on it as like a stable member, to be on it regularly. And I was like, I don't think that's a very good idea. You know, you guys, it was Yale Chaos, Alpha Omega Sin, Razor Fist, whoever else. Really big personalities, really fast talking, exuberant ranters. You know, they're like ranters, and that's not me. It's not my style. I'm more of a slow pace guy. I'm more of, chill out and that kind of thing. So it's like, I don't think that's a good idea. He was like, no, you should do it. So that's another thing about that time. I was drinking a lot, cranking out my shitty YouTube reviews at the time, shitty to me at least, and getting drunk and doing that podcast and walking off camera time and time again to take a piss because I was drinking so much beer. Holy shit. Nerdy hood reviews. Oh, damn. I know you're in the Navy. Chair Force. Army all day. Hooah. Yeah, I was in the Chair Force. That's why I got this fat ass of mine. But thank you very much, Nerdy Hood Reviews, for the additional $5. You're a good man. Mark G with the €5. Reminds me of my days in Germany. Those were good times. Thanks for the great content, Jim. Keep up the great work. Love the videos and the great community on the Discord. Well, I appreciate that, Mark. And you're another person. You've got some games coming to you, sir. I'm actually, this Thursday, day after tomorrow, I am going to a couple of hard-offs out in West Tokyo. Going to live stream, in fact, some game hunting. Going to compile as much games as possible, and then what's left of my October boxes, they're all getting out there. But I'm trying to make sure I get the best quality for your dollar. So you're going to follow me on, if you want to, you can follow me Thursday as we do a live hard-off hunt. Sean Beyer, good man. Loving the videos and live streams. Have some beers on me. Keep being awesome, and can't wait for the next box. Sean, I'm trying not to disappoint you. The box, I'm stuffing the hell out of them to make up for lost time. So you'll be getting like a dozen games. It's what I can do. I can give you as many games as possible and try to make sure they're all good. I'm not even through this Dreamcast stack yet. We're gonna get back to that, but good lord, a lot of activity in the comments. Reluctant Hero is here. Welcome, sir. Always good to see you. Holy crap, I was about to get ready for work. Good morning, good afternoon, and good morning. Thank you very much, Reluctant Hero. It is good to see you. Good evening, he says. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Good to see you, sir. Take care of yourself. Have a decent day at work. No, nothing, nerd. When were you at Temple, undergrad or master? I swear I've bumped into you around town somewhere. I was at Temple, I believe from 2016, the fall of 2016, to the spring of 2019. So I graduated last spring. And since then, I have started working as a teacher. And I'm in my second year of teaching right now. So if you saw me, you may have run into me at Temple. Or if you frequent Akihabara or Shinjuku, some of the other places I go a lot, you may have seen me there. But if you do see me, feel free to say hello. I'm typically a fairly nice guy in person, unless I've just lost at Street Fighter, and in which case, look out. Anyway, we got more Dreamcast games here. Fantastic fighting game for the Dreamcast. Some people say it's one of the best on the console as a whole. Gato, Mark of the Wolves, aka Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolves. I wonder if this baby is complete. It is. We got spine card and all that stuff. So this is a fantastic game in the Fatal Fury series. Fantastic fighter in general. And I've said a few times that my favorite Fatal Fury game is Fatal Fury Special, which it is, because it's the most Fatal Fury of all the Fatal Fury games. Eric wants to know, will you be opening more Kids Game Box Level 1? Maybe. Like I said, I've got over 30 people signed up for game boxes, probably closer to 40 at this point. And right now I'm one man. So that is a lot for one person to do, to buy games for all those people, get all the shipping done, fill out all the shipping receipts and everything. I'm actually considering, if I get to 100 patrons, probably hiring someone just to help me with all the shipping stuff. So I've been reluctant to open up more slots for each tier, just because I don't want to take on more than I can handle. As it is, it's already quite a challenge to purchase literally hundreds of games every month and put them all into boxes and ship them out all over the world. So I'm enjoying doing it, and I appreciate everybody who signed up for it. If I go ahead and make the jump to hiring someone to help me, then yeah, I will probably open up more slots for the $60, $80, $100 tiers. Karkamo, where do you sign in for the KidShoryuken game box, Jim? Karkamo, it's through my Patreon. You can go look at the Patreon. I have a bunch of different tiers. You can sign up for whichever level you want. There's like at the bottom end, there's 60, but I believe that's sold out, and I think the 81 might be sold out too. I'm not 100% sure. There's 60, 80, 100, 150, 200, however much you want to spend on games. You can sign up there, and then let me know if you want games every month, every 2 months, or every 3 months, and I'll message you, tell me what you want, and then I'll be your personal shopper. I will stretch your dollar, sir. Anyway, Retro Remy says the 2D animation is excellent in Mark of the Wolves. It absolutely is. It's a beautiful game. Retro Moments is here, another fantastic channel. Mark of the Wolves holds up well, holds up so well today. I agree. Retro Moments is another channel. If you got another tab open, go look him up. Actually, featured him. I did a video a little while back. It was Japanese gaming channels you should be watching, and Retro Moments was one of those. He's a young gentleman, an expat here in Japan. I think you're still in Japan. I don't know. Are you in Europe as we speak, or are you in Japan? But he has a great channel where he does like a lot of game hunting and import game type stuff. So if you like my channel, Retro Moments is one you're really gonna like. He and Scruffy Looking Nerf Herder, or Scruffy Looking Nerf Herder, no, Scruffy Looking RGB. They're both channels you're gonna want to have a look at if you enjoy my content. Anyway, let's move on. I actually think I'm gonna have to go get another beer. So sit tight. I'm gonna head over there if I can get the hell out of here. Oh, I'm crowded in this little apartment. Excuse me. Oh, you can hear me groaning. How embarrassing. Ooh, and I'm back with another one of these bad boys. A little more Asahi, super dry. Okay. Cheers to everyone in the chat. Okay. Oh, the belchingest live streamer there is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hit the like on the way in, that's appreciated. And if you want to share the stream too, that's also appreciated. We're going to continue to cut through this stack of Dreamcast games because we got some more. Really good games too. First up, just not my favorite version of this game, but still a damn good one. This is Street Fighter 03 Saikyo Ryu Dojo for matching service. So when this was released initially, you could play this online. So at the time, this was the only way to play your Street Fighter 03 online. Now you can play it on like PS4 and stuff like that. But yeah, Saikyo Ryu Dojo for matching service. Just great game in general. It's still Street Fighter 03. It is complete with a spine card and all that goodness. Some damage to the inside of the case though, but I don't know. I think I can get away with it. Actually, I have this in the collection myself, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll just swap this because there's a little damage on the inside of the case. So maybe I'll send somebody my copy and just keep this in the collection. With Street Fighter 03 on the Dreamcast. Great game, great version of this game, by the way. What's going on in the chat? Realma, hope you're keeping safe. You're talking to Retro Moments. Adam, hope you're doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourself out there. Bob Blanton, Jim's got his 40-ounce bounce on tonight. This is not a 40-ounce though. This is 500 milliliters. 40 would be much bigger than this. In fact, I would love a 40. I haven't had. I used to drink a lot of Old English. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that was nice about being on the military base, is they have the shopettes, like their little convenience stores, and you can buy, or any of the shops there, you can buy like American stuff, or you can go to the shopette, buy 40 of Old English, and kick your night off the right way. Not so much though. Not so much anymore. So I just stick to the good old Asahi Super Dry for the most part. Old English 8 balls. G-Fam Scorpion. Drinking Carlsberg. Alright. Fantastic. Soundtrack on Alpha 2 was better than Alpha 3. I will agree with you on that. The Alpha 3 soundtrack is really good. It's a high energy soundtrack. Really great for a fighting game. But I think the tracks in Street Fighter Alpha 2 are more memorable. I think they better match the personalities of the characters. I mean, some of them are, sort of revamped, remixed versions of other music, right? Like from Street Fighter 2 or something like that. It's very similar to some of that music. Other ones, though, like for instance, Sakura's theme on Street Fighter Alpha 2 it's a really great song. It's very catchy, very memorable, but it has sort of a light, bouncy sound to it that really matches with Sakura's persona. And I think that's why that music is so good, because the soundtrack, the stages for each character are pretty well perfect, and everything sort of matches like the persona. So like the character, the stage, and the music are all meant to complement each other. And while I think they do that too in Street Fighter Alpha 3, it's done better in Street Fighter Alpha 2, if that makes any sense. Totally agree. I can hum almost every song from Street Fighter Alpha 2. Sakura's theme, still one of my favorites. I agree. It's a great soundtrack. So I will agree with you that the Alpha 2 soundtrack is a better, more memorable soundtrack than Alpha 3. But Alpha 3 as a total package is actually my favorite Street Fighter game. Where in Japan, this is Dragonfly 069. Dragonfly 69. Where in Japan is a good place to locate Atari games for cart-based systems? You're gonna have to go to like a retro game shop, I guess. I personally don't collect for like Atari or anything like that. It's before my time. I started with the NES, so I don't really have this. I don't have much of an attachment to Atari or like Intellivision, ColecoVision, that kind of stuff. But that being said, I have seen consoles and games from that generation of games in shops like I think Super Potato. I've seen them there. Maybe even like Beep. They might have had some of that stuff in there. So you're going to want to go and peruse some of those dedicated retro game shops where the prices are usually kind of out of control, some of those places. Retro Remy, Jim, are you picking up the Aleste collection on Switch this holiday with the Tiny Game Gear edition? You know, that does look pretty cool. I don't know. Not the Game Gear, little mini Game Gear edition, because I don't really see the need to have that. If I'm gonna have the game for like my Switch, for example, I don't need like a tiny little version of it. It's kind of cool, nice collector's item, but sort of drifting away from collecting more into I just want things I'm gonna play. So it does look like a very cool collection of games. I may indeed pick up the physical copy for the Switch. That being said, I looked at the lineup of games on it, and I don't think it necessarily has like my favorite like Aleste games in it. I might be wrong, but yeah, there's like GG Aleste and that kind of stuff. But I'm more a fan of for compile shooters, let's say, I'm more a fan of like Gunhead, Super Aleste, Musha Aleste, and like the Spriggan games and stuff like that. I'm not so like the original like Aleste, whatever it was on like the Master System, or GG Aleste and stuff. I've actually never even played those. So they look pretty cool, but it is like gonna be like $60 for a physical copy of that game. So I don't know, but I will not be getting the little Game Gear one. Just not interested, I guess. Reversely, Jim, what Switch games would you recommend for a potential new owner? Well, even I myself I'm still kind of new to the Switch, I guess. Anything like the first party Nintendo games. Mario Odyssey was great. Mario Kart, still awesome. Breath of the Wild, amazing game. I even enjoyed Luigi's Mansion 3, even though it was pretty repetitive, kind of just a collectathon. But I did like that. Dragon Quest 11, of course you can play it on the PS4, but you can play it on the Switch as well. That's the version I played, and I really enjoyed that. Even though it's only in Japanese right now, Persona 5 Scramble. It's a very fun game. It's fantastic. So even if you can't read Japanese, I would say pick it up anyway, because even if you can't really follow the story very well, it's linear enough that you can just sort of get through it anyway. And the gameplay is very fun, and also like beautiful graphics, beautiful sound design. Really, really great game. So Persona 5 Scramble, go for that. I picked up, I don't even know where it is. I got some Switch games over here. Catherine Full Body. If you haven't already played through that, pick up Catherine Full Body. I think I have some shoot 'em ups next to me. Cyvaria Delta, great game on the Switch. Oh, Giga Wrecker Alt, very fun, sort of like puzzle platformer almost. That's good. Team Sonic Racing sucked. Yeah, Catherine Full Body, fantastic game. Pick that up if you haven't already. There's a lot of good stuff on the Switch. I've been enjoying it a lot. Some fighting games, RPGs, shoot 'em ups, plenty of those. Esp Raid Psy. That's a really good one. Cave game from 1998 got ported by M2 to the Switch, and I had tons of fun with that. You can check out my review for that. That's a really good game. Anyway, let's keep going. I've got some more Dreamcast games to get through here. We'll drink a little more beer, and then we'll probably call it quits for tonight, because I want to take a shower, and I've got work tomorrow. So, next up, Street Fighter 3 Double Impact for the Sega Dreamcast. Great game. Includes the original Street Fighter 3, the new challengers, excuse me, and Street Fighter 3 Second Impact. It's nice and complete, really beautiful, like baby blue disc in there, everything. So that's great. So somebody's going to be happy with that. And what is Double Impact without some good old-fashioned Street Fighter 3 Third Strike for the good old Dreamcast. Great cover art on that, by the way. They really went all in with the Chun-Li love, put her front and center. And this one also was able to pick up complete with a spine card and all that stuff. So that's nice. This is in really great shape. So Third Strike. Somebody's going to be really happy with that. Double Impact. OST strong as fuck. Yes, Beast 1X5. My good buddy Chris is in the chat. Always good to see you, man. Yeah, dude, the soundtracks on like the Third Strike soundtrack is like pretty cool. I don't know, some of those hip hop songs are kind of corny, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, the soundtrack for both of the games on Double Impact is great. Some of them are a little more high tempo. Some of them are like super chill as fuck. Love that soundtrack on those. Just Joshin in Japan says Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah, Ohayo gozaimasu to you, sir. Cheers. Fit to play games with a $10 donation. Before I head out to work, just want to say, out of all the YouTubers I've watched throughout the years, you were the most inspirational. Still a new YouTuber, so I don't mind a shout out, senpai. Well, you got it. Fit to play games. As soon as this stream is offline, I'm gonna go and, in fact, let me open up a tab. I'm gonna open up a tab right now and go have a look, because as some of you may know, you may have seen, I have featuring a lot of guests, not a lot, 3 so far, but I've got a lot of guest reviewers lined up channel, and I tried to do my best to make sure that they were channels with smaller sub counts, as I want to help. So Fit, let me double check here. Fit to play games. I, as someone who has a smaller channel myself, I know how difficult it can be to sort of like get exposure for your channel when you're like small. You have like less than 1,000 subs, or I mean, I don't know. Geez, when I was like, I had a few thousand subs, you couldn't really get anybody to, you know, pay you any mind. But I have, yeah, that's something I've been kind of on about, and I definitely plan to do more shout out videos and stuff in the future as well, for some of the smaller channels that I watch. And okay, Fit to play games, here you are. Okay, well, it looks like you have quite a lot of content uploaded here. 414 subscribers, some Elder Scrolls, Final Fantasy, State of Decay. Looks like you have quite a lot of stuff here. New awesome games for free. You know I like that. I tend to be a little bit of a cheapo every once in a while. All right. So I'm going to give you a sub, sir, and then I'm going to have a look at some of your content after the stream is offline, and as I finish these beers. Thank you very much, sir, for the donation, being very generous. And I'm happy if I inspired you in some way. I'm very, very happy for that. So I appreciate you. Horace, hello from London. Your content is awesome. Thank you, Horace. I appreciate it. Hope you are having a fantastic day there in good old London. And I'm glad you enjoy the content. Thank you very much. Let's see, we got Realman here. Garkmo having a little back and forth show. Alex theme in Second Impact is the best theme of all time in fighting games. Potentially, I don't know. When I think about my favorite themes in Street Fighter, I don't know. It's hard to choose. I'm not even gonna get into that right now. Like, I don't even know if I can like fathom it. There's like too many themes in my head. Those games have some of the best soundtracks ever, like in a video game. Some of the most memorable. Jake James Lugo is here. How's it going, Jim? Hope all is well and chill out there. It is, Jake. Thank you very much for saying so. Things are well here. They are chill here. They're as chill as they can be, and they're getting chiller by the minutes. So thank you for stopping by, sir. Shmups and stuff. Hi, Jim. It's me, Cojones del Oro. New channel. Same old Daz. Cojones del Oro. Daz. That, you, sir, you have been through... You go through channels like ex-wives. Pick a lane. Okay, leave a channel up for more than a week, please. But new channel, Shmups and stuff. Easy enough to remember. I'm going to have to go have a look at that. For any of you who don't know, Shmups and stuff, formerly Cojones del Oro, eternally Daz. Great YouTuber from the UK. I did an interview with him on his previous channel he had. Jim, you're going to have to... Jim, what the hell am I saying? Daz, you're going to have to actually keep this one up for a little while, okay? Keep that channel going. We have 2 more games here for the Dreamcast. And then we are through this stack. Okay, next up, game I love a lot. And in my personal opinion, it is underappreciated in the annals of Capcom fighters. But it's an amazing game. Visually, pretty damn cool. Gameplay-wise, excellent. Soundtrack, definitely excellent. This is Star Gladiator 2, The Nightmare of Bilstein, a.k.a. Plasma Sword. I love this game. I've got it in the collection myself. I've reviewed it in the past. I play the hell out of it. My Dreamcast, when I come across it in an arcade, they'll have it in like Taito Hey or something. I'll sit down and play it a little bit. I love Star Gladiator 2, a.k.a. Plasma Sword. Just an amazing game. Picked it up. It's complete with spine card. You got Bilstein on the CD here, which is just awesome. So this game, I mean, if you've never played one of the Star Gladiator games, you're missing out. These are excellent 3D fighters by Capcom. Again, visuals are really cool. Gameplay is very fun. If you've played some other like 3D fighters by Capcom, this one has a control scheme, I think, more similar to like Street Fighter EX or something like that. But with weapons, with like lightsabers and stuff. And the soundtrack is badass. Love it. Star Gladiator 2, Plasma Sword. This is one that gets my highest recommendation. I don't know why more people don't talk about this. Everybody talks about Third Strike and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and great games. Wrong. But fucking A. Star Gladiator. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? You don't like Star Gladiator. Get out of here. Alright. Let's have a look-see. How many beers you had, Jim? Not very many, Eric. We're not going to get into that. Actually, I think this is the third of... Well, I popped into Gusto. I had a steak and a beer in there, and then drank one of these, and drank another, and here we are on this one. But you've had a few with me, Eric. You know I tend to hold my liquor pretty well. Liquor. It's beer. It's water, basically. Carcamo, OMG Capcom. You suck. I love Star Gladiator. Too many abandoned games. Star Gladiator, Rival Schools, Power Stone. Too many awesome franchises to count. You're right about that, Carcamo. You're breaking my heart. Actually, I've had this conversation extensively. I mentioned earlier, a friend of mine that used to work at Capcom, and we've sat down. We're both huge fans of the company, especially from their heyday in like the 90s. So we've had this conversation. We've commiserated together. Let's see. Hold on. I saw something up here. Let's see what we got. Retro Remy. I always wanted to see Star Gladiator in the 2D art style, but at least we got Hayato and MVC2. That's right. And yeah, that would be cool. I would be perfectly happy with a purely 2D Star Gladiator. I could live with that. I really could. But you're right. At least we got him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. What is your main character on Tekken and Street Fighter, and have you played King of Fighters? Says Jason the Hedgehog. Jason, my main character in Tekken is Paul. My main character in Street Fighter is Ken. And I've played a lot of King of Fighters, and typically I'll stick with Terry, Rio, and Kim. That's sort of my team. Just straight up macho power move guys. Just lots of hard hitting punches, kicks, stuff like that. A little bit of range stuff, depending on the version, which King of Fighters you're playing. But mostly, the guys with the heavy hitters is what I'm saying. I stick with them. Yeah, Paul is actually my main in Tekken, and actually I'm friends with the voice actor who's been playing Paul since Tekken 3. He actually lives one station over from me. My friend Eric. He's been the voice of Paul for I don't know how many years. He's done a bunch of voices for like Shenmue, Virtua Fighter, F-Zero. He's actually been in the last few series of Ultraman, the Ultraman series. He's actually just been recast to play Ultraman Zero. But yeah, he lives literally like 5 minutes up the road. Cool guy, by the way. If you ever have a sit down and chat with him. All right. What's going on here? Oh, what's hot in the arcades over there? Shmups and stuff. What's hot in the arcades here is like mostly like rhythm games and claw machines. Two things that I'm not terribly drawn to. Not a biggest fan of those things. Eric, yes, in fact, Eric Kelso, a friend of mine, good guy, very fun to get drunk with too. So yeah, I love Eric, and when you get him going, if he does some of his voices for you, it's like it's crazy for like a video game fan like me, total nerd. It's really cool to be hanging out with him, getting a little drinky, and him doing some of his video game voices. One final game for the Sega Dreamcast. Favorite Pantera album, if you can decide, LOL. Probably my favorite Pantera album is still Cowboys from Hell. Great album. I mean, they have a lot of great, a lot of great music. Far Beyond Driven, Southern Trendkill. That's all great stuff. Vulgar Display Power. Great albums. I don't know, I just really like the sound of Cowboys from Hell. Like, it has sort of, I don't know. To me, it kind of like encapsulates like that sort of like early spirit of Pantera, where it's kind of like wild sounding, but it's like fun as well. But it's like it's heavy and it's fast and it's driving. I like that. Like later albums, they got a little more. They slowed down a little bit, got a little more like groovy, got a little more into like the southern twang of things. Cowboys from Hell still has a little bit more of that like speed metal kind of like edge to it. And Phil was still doing some of those like falsetto vocals and stuff. So I actually like that. Cowboys still my favorite album, actually. All right, final Dreamcast game. Another really great fighter. Again, another one that a lot of people talk about, like on the Dreamcast, Third Strike and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and like maybe Power Stone 2. Don't forget JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, people. Great 2D fighter, unusual 2D fighter. By Capcom, to be sure, but just a hell of a lot of fun. Really great fighting game. Great graphics. Great sound design. Sort of weird. No spine cart with this one, unfortunately. But maybe on the next go around. But yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Got the cool pink JoJo on the disc there. But great game. Great selection of characters. Unusual gameplay style. Just fantastic. I have like a handful of JoJo games. This is definitely my favorite, though. Like the 3D games are pretty cool too. But you're not gonna beat this. Good stuff. And the PlayStation version of this is excellent as well. So there you go. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on the Dreamcast. Someone is gonna have a lot of fun with that. That's that big stack of Dreamcast games going out all over the world. I still don't know what boxes those are gonna go into yet. I don't know, maybe do like a blind grab. We'll make it really random this time. And then this little stack of games here that I actually picked up for myself, and I've been having a lot of fun with those. All right, it's time to break it off when I get to coughing like that. Drink a little bit of water or something, sort of dry my throat out. So drink more, right? That's the solution. The beer is hurting you. Drink more of it to reverse the process. Here we go. Ah, Ryoma says needs a re-release on Steam and consoles. I agree. It certainly does. Nerdy Hood reviews. JoJo is sick, including the manga and anime. You're absolutely right. I know quite a lot of JoJo fans. In fact, a buddy of mine, Joury, who I was fortunate enough to sit and have some beers with in A Button, and he's also a patron of mine and a friend. He's quite the JoJo cosplayer, I came to find out. And so that's really cool. But yeah, I know a lot of people that are huge JoJo fans. And I haven't really watched much of the anime or read much of the manga. I've read a little bit. But more so, I'm a fan of the games. So like that, and like All-Star Battle, and just whatever. Golden Wind on the PS2 is pretty cool. So, the Super Famicom RPG is pretty good. So yeah, I'm more familiar with JoJo through the video games than anything else. Mick Winziller says Fightcade. Yes, he's again Fightcade. You can get on there and play just about anything. And it's awesome. And again, I like to go and watch some of the videos on YouTube of people playing like Marvel vs. Capcom and other games like that on Fightcade, because it's pretty cool. They're like the best players in the world playing. So it's pretty impressive to watch. Still crazy to me that they made a JoJo fighting game made by Capcom. What's the game that makes you think, how did this happen? How did this happen? A video game that just makes me go, why? I don't know. There's some Japanese stuff I've played, like the games where it's like simulating driving like a city bus or like the train or whatever, like Denshidego. I don't get it. Or the Tokyo Bus Guide game. I don't get those. I don't understand the appeal of playing a video game that simulates doing a mundane task. To me, the purpose of video games has always been a little bit of escapism, to forget about all of the mundane tasks you have to do in your life. Excuse me. And yet there are games that simulate doing those exact mundane tasks. I don't understand. I don't know why someone had the spark to do that to begin with. And then some games I like, even though they do kind of, I guess I'm guilty of it then. Like I have a Koko Ichiban game. Koko Ichiban is like a curry restaurant here in Japan, and they released a PlayStation 2 game that simulates working at one of their curry restaurants. And I like it for whatever reason. So yeah, as much as I bitch about the Tokyo Bus Guide game or Denshidego and how I don't get it, I like a game where you work at what you could say is basically a fast food restaurant. So what the hell do I know? I'm a hypocrite. What can you do? The Yoshinoya video game, says Nell Rivera. Yeah, same. The Yoshinoya game. There's a Coco's game. There's a game that simulates running a convenience store for whatever reason. Bushin Ryu Cat. Hey, KidShoryuken. 2 questions, please. What are the opening where Club Sega and Aki had been? I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. Probably won't be an arcade, though, because I don't think that thing was making very much money, because there are already a lot of arcades in Akiba, and they were all better than that one. It's hard to say. And do they play pinball in Japan? You will have to go to an arcade like Mikado or something like that, something that is specifically a retro arcade. Although, actually, in the most recent Sega arcade, they opened up in Akiba, so I think it would have been number 5. Yeah, it would have been number 5. I think on the 4th floor, they actually did have some arcade, some pinball machines in there. So pinball can be found in Japan if you go to the right place. As far as I know, it's not like terribly popular though. Not in the same way that like, your standard like retro gaming is. But like if you go to Mikado, for example, like they had the Addams Family pinball game, which I was psyched when I saw it because I hadn't played Addams Family pinball since like they had one at that little entrance area at the Walmart near my house, like way back in the day, like in the early 90s. So yeah, if you go to like Mikado or like certain arcades that have some retro stuff, you can find some pinball. But as far as I know, it's not like terribly popular here. I could be wrong. There could be a total like pinball underground, all that kind of stuff. Um, Watch clips of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where they eat at the restaurant. Have you played any racing games? I play a lot of racing games. Lots of Mario Kart, Initial D, that kind of stuff. I like my arcade racers. I'm not like a big fan of like Gran Turismo, for example. I don't really require realism in my racing games. Although like R4, Ridge Racer Type 4, that's one of my favorites. Initial D Special Stage on the PS2, I like a lot. Playing Initial D in the arcades is always fun. Best arcade for classic fighting games: Mikado in Takadano Baba. It's only a couple of stops away from Shinjuku. Go there. The second floor is almost entirely fighting games, and I had it the last time I was there. I had an amazing time. I played Third Strike. I played Hokuto no Ken. We played some Darkstalkers. Whatever. We played a shit ton of video games. We played Samurai Spirits, all that stuff. Go to Mikado in Takadano Baba. Great game for fighting games, retro arcade games, all that kind of stuff. How old am I? Taking that secret to the grave, sir. I'm old enough to know better. Pachinko is the pinball of Japan? Well, in that case, it's really fucking popular. Because you can't fucking walk outside without tripping over a pachinko parlor. Got their silver balls fixed with pachinko. They certainly did. I have the Initial D video game and play it on the PC emulator. Alright. Yeah, you never go wrong with the PC Engine. Watch your video about the best arcade and what are your best games and which floor is it located. Again, if you're in Mikado, I mean, take your pick. First floor is all just like retro arcade games. There's like lots of shoot 'em ups there. There's beat 'em ups, pinball. They had like last time I was there, like Outrun and Space Harrier and stuff. All that stuff's on the first floor. All the fighting games are up on the second floor. Just take your pick. It is all good. What is your favorite Japanese dish? Asks Horace. Also, Bob Blanton says I'm 7,000 years old. How did you know that? I married a girl with green eyes, and here I am, back to my good old 30-something self. What is your favorite Japanese dish? Good question. I think I like some of the hot pot stuff, like shabu shabu, for example. That's delicious. Just pile a whole bunch, basically like a stew. They have some good like stews here that have like meat and veggies and other kinds of stuff in it. Really great tasting broth. I like that a lot. Even though it's originally Chinese, I do love ramen. Japanese ramen is great. Japanese curry is fantastic as well. They do their own spin on curry, and it's pretty delicious. Okonomiyaki. There's a dish called okonomiyaki, which is almost like a big pancake type of thing, filled with like veggies, meat, stuff like that, covered with like soy sauce and other toppings and everything. And it's a very, very delicious, great thing to eat. I mean, me, the American, of course, I'm going to love all the fried foods. There's the sushi and all the veggies, tofu, all that kind of stuff. I eschew all that in favor of fried food. A lot of S&B curry at the house. I wanted to try that. They had the different video game curries. They had the blue Sonic curry, the red Dalsim curry from Street Fighter 2, and they had a green Biohazard curry with like the Biohazard zombie on it. I never actually got to try any of those. I'm guessing they taste like pretty regular curry. Best PS1 game asks Patricio Juarez, what's the best PS1 game? I think my favorite PS1 game is probably Resident Evil 2, actually. I love that game. I play through it a few times a year. Actually, took the Dreamcast version off the shelf and played through that like last week. Just sat down with some beers and burned through that game. That's a game I can just sit down and play, finish anytime. One of my favorite games of all time, actually. But also like some of my other favorites on the PS1. I think like Legend of Mana, Star Ocean: The Second Story, Spyro. Kind of understated about me. I'm a big fan of Spyro. I've actually never played any of the sequels to Spyro. as a fact. But the original game is one of my favorites. Just period. I can pick it up and play it anytime. It's always fun. Anyway, I see we still got a lot of comments coming in. We got a lot of people watching. I appreciate all of you, great people. But it's 11 o'clock at night here in Japan, and I got to work tomorrow. But I do want to say thank you, everybody, for dropping in to watch. I'm going to do more stuff like this. Like I said, my initial intention was to do this from a bar, and the weather sucked. So I decided to just do it from home. But I'm going to do more like these. We're going to do sort of little casual hangout streams like this. And those will probably take place from various bars. So I'll go to an izakaya one week, maybe the next week. I'll go to one of my favorite bars in Shinjuku, or I'll go to Tokyo Video Gamers out in Akihabara. And we can, I can drink some beers and show you around the bar, and maybe even stream some arcade games. Wouldn't that be fun? But anyway, thanks everybody for dropping by. Thank you for comments. I mean, it's awesome. One of the only streams I know of where you don't really need a moderator, because everybody's cool as shit in the chat. So thanks everybody for bringing the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate the audience I have. Seriously, it really makes me feel, part of, maybe the best part of making YouTube videos is, honestly, it makes you feel good when people comment to you and they say how much they enjoy the videos, or that your videos inspired them to want to make videos of their own, or they've been watching you for years or something like that. And it makes you feel good, and I'm very happy that I can sit here for hours on end talking. The chat is super active, and just everybody being cool, feeling the vibe, feeling the vibe I'm trying to put out, which is one that is mostly fueled by alcohol, but nevertheless, I want it to be chill as fuck. So thank you all. $2 from Funky Cold Medina. Henaro Medina, he can tell you he's had a few beers with me as well. I've met him and his wonderful wife. They're very good people. Medina, I don't know if you got your box yet or not, but just look forward to that. Stuffed a bunch of games in there, really good stuff too. And then $3 from Carcamo, my main man, my favorite Panamaniac, the muscle-bound brother from another mother. Thank you very much, sir. You guys are great. Anyway, all these beautiful people in the chat, I'd love to sit here and talk to you all night. Maybe on a night when I'm not working, we can do like a 6-hour drinking stream. You can just watch me until I pass out or something. Won't that be fun? Anyway, okay, enough of this. People in the chat, stop distracting me. I gotta get out of here. But thanks everybody for watching. Take care, and I will see you on the next one, hopefully, God willing. And until then, take care. Goodbye. As I awkwardly turn off the stream.